light heavyweight matchup. The 30-year-old has a height advantage and a slight weight advantage. Both Brazilians getting ready to go at it. We go to Justin Bernard.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next match is scheduled for 3 rounds in the light heavyweight division. Introducing to you first in the blue corner with an official weight of 202.5 pounds. Out of Atos, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Pedro Machado. And in the red corner with an official weight of 203.5 pounds. Out of Ethos, East LA, East Los Angeles, California, Filipe Pimentel. And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
Fighter, you ready? You ready? Fight!
Here we go, match number 3. Tap it up. It is Pimentel in the black and red, Machado in the blue. You see Pimentel has a 3-inch height advantage. And early on, we got a deep choke here, Dean.
Yeah, he shot that double leg and ran right into the choke. And that's one of the things you got to watch out for, especially in this environment. And the wall might have helped the choke sink in a little bit sooner. If he had hit it in the flat part of the surface of the floor, he might have been able to get a better position. But the fact that he ran into the wall, it happened so quickly, he wasn't able to really establish a position.
Michael, you wanted to see how this curve of the bowl would come into play. How is it helping or hurting right now if you're Pimentel on the bottom position?
Well, you can see that it's hard for Pedro.
Pimentel's on the top position, I apologize.
Yeah, it's hard for Pedro to get his head off the mat, and that is key when you're playing the guard from your back. You have to be on your shoulder blades. You do not want to have your head flat. So right now, with him being on the wall, you can see how hard it is for him to posture up off the mat, and how easy it is for Filipe to stuff his head down, flatten him out. And when you want to start passing the guard, it is key to get your opponent's shoulder blades flat, get their head on the mat. Once you can flatten their shoulder blades, you can begin to pass, but Filipe opts to let him up, which surprises him.
I think when you're standing, it's more favorable to have your feet on the bowl, but when you're on the ground, you want to be on the outside of it.
Pimentel, this is the kind of action we wanted to see. He is just rushing Machado, trying to bully him early on in this first round.
That's that football play.
I was going to say, you can see him popping the shoulders and clubbing the head. I'm like, okay, here comes that American football. American football background shining through in his match. I like that.
5 years, Pimentel in the black and the red said he was a wide receiver, a cornerback, and a safety, blanketing wide receivers. He gave it up to follow his love here at Jiu-Jitsu, and he is a 2nd-degree black belt.
And what I love, what I've seen from Filipe, from previous matches I saw, he's a guy that likes to sit guard, so I like to see him initiating the wrestling, initiating the stand-up, making things really uncomfortable for Machado. Clubbing the head, pushing him against the pit, and they're about to fly out of the bowl right now. Oh my gosh. The bowl, excuse me, I don't know why I called it the P word. We don't call that. We don't call it that in this broadcast. That's the bowl.
Let's also not forget, for Machado in blue, most of his training has been with a gi on. He only went to no gi about 3 weeks ago, his first competition. So this is a new arena for him as well. How does that play into this one here tonight, Dean?
Well, in the past, when you came from gi and started doing no gi, you had a heavy advantage. But I think nowadays, with the speed of the game and the introduction and the prominence of leg locks, I don't think it really has an advantage like it used to. So it'll be interesting to see how he adjusts to this. Now, for Pimentel, I think he needs to keep the pressure on to try to wear out Machado, because the slower this is, the more it will favor Machado, because he's used to a slow-paced gi match.
Just heard referee Jason Herzog give a warning for action to Pimentel in the red.
This is what Machado needs to do to get himself back in this match. He's got to match the physicality of Filipe Pimentel. He's got to hit him with some clubs. He's got to pop his shoulders a little bit. He's got to match the physicality, because thus far he's getting bullied a little bit.
Both competitors lock up once again here in the middle.
Yeah, I think Pimentel needs to keep that physicality going.
love that slide-by attempt from Machado there. Tried to hit the slide-by, and as Filipe Pimentel refaced, almost was able to get to a double leg takedown. Filipe defended it wisely, but that's exactly what Machado's got to do to get back in this match. Like I said, he's got to match the physicality. He's got to try to get some takedowns of his own. If he can get a takedown in the closing moments of this first round, he might be able to even this out a little bit.
Almost runs him out of the bowl again.
But look at this. Look at Machado drops it on the guillotine. Look at the way he's sitting on his right hip right now. He's got to make the adjustment, but Pimentel pops his head out. Way to take advantage of the edge of the bowl. As he got to the top, he was able to sit over the top of him, latch on that arm and guillotine, then they slid back down to the flat. Now that is an example of how the curve of the bowl can benefit the guy on bottom because of the way he was able to make the adjustment on that guillotine. So that was great stuff for Machado to get himself back in this match.
Final seconds here in this first round. Machado with a late comeback here in this first round after he was getting bullied early on.
Are you ready? You ready? Fight!
We start round number 2. Once again, it's Machado in the blue, Pimentel in the black and the red. It looked like Pimentel was the bully, the aggressor early on in that first round. Machado made a comeback. Dean, how did you score round 1?
If there was any question, I had doubts going into that last 30 seconds, but that last 30 seconds, Pedro Machado stole that round. I thought he did a good job with the guillotine and then the late takedown. He stole the round at the end.
Yeah, he definitely initiated the fight-ending technique with that guillotine. That was a very, very good attempt, and he started to pick up the offense through the back half of that first round with the wrestling, so I definitely think the guillotine warrants him winning the 10-9 first round.
And I almost feel as though for as much pressure as Pimentel was putting on Machado, he might have wore himself out.
Here goes Machado, almost gets the front headlock with the snap down. I see a little bit of a momentum shift ever since Machado started to pick it up with the wrestling. I feel like we've seen a big momentum shift in his favor. Starting to kind of wear on the head of Filipe Pimentel right now, starting to break his posture, trying to hit the slide-bys, trying to get the angles to get the takedowns. It's working thus far for him.
Machado was promoted to a black belt back in 2021, and he said, I look to go for submissions. That's what I trained for. I'm trying to put on a show here tonight. Dean, we saw the guillotine attempt towards the end of round 1, and once again, they are locked up here as Machado trying to push Pimentel back into the curve.
Well, clearly, Machado did his homework because he knew that when Pimentel would take a shot, he would go for the guillotine. That wasn't the first attempt. He had tried it earlier and a few times throughout the first round. He nailed it off the initial shot and then at the end of the round. But if he wants, I would like to see him be a little bit more offensive himself.
Now, both competitors were just warned for action. If you get warned again, the referee does have the ability to take a point deduction during the round.
You can see Machado wants that left-hand underhook. He keeps going to that left-hand underhook. You see Pimentel try to step across with the judo throw. But then Pedro secures the takedown of his own. And this is great. Look where he landed right here. He's got the shoulder blades flat. Look to see him scoop under the right arm with his left arm to get under the head, get head and arm control like he is right now. Now look, he's going to try to swim that knee out, try to get his knee free, hit a knee cut right here, 3/4 mount. He's almost there. And he's got the arm stuck almost of Pimentel right there that could open up the opportunities for a topside triangle. Beautiful pass, beautiful head and arm control. Way to smash pass and look at the triangle right here. This is big.
Oh, he's trying to sink it in.
What he's got to do, he's got to stay on top, right the arm, and he got the tap.
Machado, the Brazilian surfer, shows that he has another level he can go to. Gets the submission here in round number 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Jason Herzog calls a stop to the match in round number 2, declaring the winner by submission, Pedro Machado.